epicardial sac is the same thing as the parietal pericardium. So it's a membrane. You can't see it on this model, but just imagine a membrane on the outside of this. The epicardium, again, you can't see on here, but it's the same thing as the visceral pericardium. It's a membrane that's in direct contact with the heart itself. So parietal pericardium out here, visceral pericardium directly touching the heart. The myocardium refers to the muscular layer, so all this where it's kind of red is the myocardium. And then the endocardium would be a membrane that lines the inside of all the chambers inside the heart.
Like this one.
The apex is the pointy part at the bottom,
On this side.
and the base is the flat part at the top.
Like this one.
The atrial appendages, you see how these are the atria at the top here? The atria, by the way, are these top two chambers right here. And you see how they get kind of pointy in the middle right here? Those are the atrial appendages. The ventricles are the big chambers at the bottom. Right heart, left heart, you're never going to answer that on a lab practical, but just so you know, the right side is over here, the left side is over here, and it helps you figure out some of the valves, like the names of some of the valves, so just know this is the right, this is the left. The interatrial septum is the wall between the two atria. It's kind of obscured by these blood vessels here, but if you're feeling here, there's a wall between the interatrial septum. The interventricular septum is this wall between the two ventricles. The tricuspid valve is this wall between the right atrium and or this valve between the right atrium and the right ventricle. So it's this thing right here. And the bicuspid valve is on the left side. It's this one right here. Now, for the aortic and the pulmonary valves, first it's handy to know that this vessel right here, this red one, is the aorta, and this one is the pulmonary trunk. And then if you look at where they're coming in, remember this was the aorta right here. There's a valve between the aorta and the left ventricle, and that's the aortic semilunar valve. And on the model, the numbers are 104, 105, and 106. That's the aortic valve. Remember, this was the pulmonary trunk, so there's a valve that separates it from the right ventricle. It's this one, and the numbers are 101, 102, and 103.
Are you going to cover up the numbers on the test?
Not on purpose, but they may. I can't guarantee no number covering.
Okay.
The chordae tendineae are these strings that hang off the tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve, and they connect to little muscles called the papillary muscles, like right here, there's a big papillary muscle. These are all papillary muscles. So they're just little muscles in the wall of the ventricle. Trabeculae carnae is referring to the sort of webby look of the muscle in the ventricles. So see how it's kind of looks striated or like trabeculae? That's the trabeculae carnae. Pectinate muscles are in the front wall of the right atrium. It's this right here, like number 90, 91, 84, 85. Those are pectinate muscles. And then the fossa ovalis, you're never going to get this on the video because you have to really stick your head in the right atrium to see it, but there's a flat spot, and its number is 81, deep in the right atrium, and that's the fossa ovalis. Now for the conduction system, it's this model, it's all the yellow. The SA node is this yellow circle at the top of the right atrium. SA node. I don't know where to point at it, Brian. I can't tell. The AV node is the yellow circle at the bottom of the right atrium. Coming out of the AV node is the AV bundle, which is this yellow stripe on the yellow line. That leads to the bundle branches, which go down through the interventricular septum. And then finally all the way out to the Purkinje fibers. Now the last thing on your list is the ligamentum arteriosum. That's this piece right here. It's a connection between the aorta and the pulmonary trunk, and I actually like it better. Let me grab you this pink